Hello and welcome to the University of Worcester Arena BBL Cup quarter-final action for you here tonight as the Worcester Wolves play host to the Bristol Flyers. I'm pleased to be joined by a man who's had his hands on that cup for the last 2 seasons. It's the Leicester forward, Anthony Rowan. Great to have you with us. For many people, this will be the first time they've seen the Flyers on the TV here. First season for them in the BBL. You played them last weekend. What have you made of them?
Yeah, they've started the season very well. They've won games early, and they seem to be a team that means businesses here. They're not here to be a part of the league. They're here to do something.
Well, they did get off to a great start. Had a couple of rocky results in recent weeks, but still a very good start overall for the Flyers. Well, earlier I spoke to both the coaches in tonight's game to see what their thoughts were ahead of this quarter-final clash. Well, PJ, we're a month or so into the season. How do you think things have settled down for yourself?
And we're getting there. We haven't settled down as much as I would like. We're still sort of fighting ourselves a little bit to try and find some sort of consistency over a 40-minute period. But, you know, the results are still going our way, so I can't complain too much.
Well, that's half the battle at this time of year, isn't it? Make sure you win the games.
It is. Make sure you win the games, you know, while you're working on the players gelling together, finding the right combinations to put on the court at the right time. So, you know, that's my job to try and do that. And, you know, we're playing around with the starting lineups at the moment just so that we do find some sort of consistency in form over the 40 minutes.
And Bristol, obviously new into the league, they got off to a great start. What have you made of their introduction?
Got off to a fantastic start. We actually played them pre-season, and it was a really tough game. And you know, Andreas is a great coach. He's got them well drilled. They play hard for each other, and they've got nothing to lose and playing with no fear. So I think they're a very dangerous team. I wasn't surprised that they won their first 2 or 3 games, and I'm sure they'll pick up some more games as the season goes on.
And what do you think the key is to breaking down that team?
I think we've just got to be disciplined. You know, I think we've got to go through our sets and we've got to make sure we execute. I think we're a little bit stronger inside, so we're going to try and go inside a little bit more and try and dominate them, and really just play our own game. Get the big guys playing well, and we'll be fine.
Thanks for talking to us. Good luck. Well, Andreas, it's the first time you've been in front of our cameras. How has life been in the first month or so in the BBL?
I think it has been very good for us. You know, we had a very strong start. And, you know, I think the guys have been gelling very well together. Our team chemistry has been very good. We've recruited well over the summer, and I think the players' chemistry has worked really well so far. We've had a couple of recently tough games, but I think that's part of the BBL journey. You know, it's a year of discovery for us, and I think so far so good. But, you know, we want to get better, and that's the aim, and today is another opportunity for that to happen.
How important was it for the development of the club that you did get off to that great start?
I think it was, you know, we had the players together for a long time, and we've recruited well, and we brought guys in that we felt we needed to give us extra strength. You know, I think it was very important. I think it gave us confidence as a new franchise, and it was good commercially as well. I think a lot of people generated a lot of interest in Bristol. You know, the BBL is coming was kind of our motto throughout, and you know, to get off to a great start, you kind of saw that we're not just going to be another team coming to the BBL. We're here to compete and get better, and eventually win a BBL championship.
A couple of injuries to the lineup. How does that affect the way you're going to be able to play tonight?
You know, guys have to step up. There's no question about that. We're looking to put a very good defensive performance today. I think that's the major focus. We want to put a defensive performance that we can be proud of. You know, and other guys will have to come in. You know, we have the injuries. Other guys will have to come in and fill the gap.
And Worcester, a top team in the league this season. What have you made of their start?
Well, you know, obviously Coach James and Worcester are a long-established franchise. They've been very successful. You know, I think they're a team with multiple threats. There's no question about that. And as I said, you know, defensively we've got to be a very solid team today. If we allow them to find rhythm and play their game, they're going to be very hard to stop. There's no question about that. So defensive focus is a priority, and then offensively we just got to be able to serve the ball and take our time and be patient and aggressive when we need to.
Thanks for talking to us. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers. Well, some interesting thoughts there from both the coaches. Certainly Andreas getting used to life in the BBL and how important it was for them as a club to get off to a winning lineup. But what PJ said, if we get into the 2 team lineups now, starting with the Worcester Wolves, Paul James talking about trying to find that right mix, the right 5 guys to start, what sparks they can get off the bench. they've got a very versatile lineup. You can pick 5 out of almost all of those guys to be in this starting lineup.
They do. You know, he's got some good selections there. I can't say who the starting 5 would be, but I'm telling you who not to leave out, and that's number 34, Robert Thurman. He's started the season very well, averaging a double-double currently, and of course Alex Owumni, who's done that year after year. He's proved for the Worcester Wolves that he's a formidable force in this league, and he's consistent.
And the likes of Irving and Williams, who can start, can come off the bench, give you that spark. Debo as well. Let's take a look now at the lineup for the Bristol Flyers, and obviously new team to the league, a lot of new faces. Alif Bland has been in the BBL before with Cheshire, but a bit of a blow for them with an injury to Matthias Island. That's quite a blow to their rotation here.
It is, yeah. That's gonna prove a bit of a problem, especially the way Sullen plays. He's, you know, he shoots the ball very well for a big guy, so he spreads the floor, enabling Heron and all the other guys to get inside and get easy buckets. So today they're gonna have to adjust in order to compete with Worcester.
And Coach Kapula's talking before the game about the importance of the defense from their perspective. They've been a low-scoring team now, even though they've won these 3 games. They tend to do it in a low-scoring way. The other end of the floor, Worcester have been averaging mid-80s offensively, so they're going to have to find some way of slowing Worcester down. Yeah,
if Bristol can get a defensive establishment early and frustrate Worcester, then that's their best chance of winning this basketball game, is to try and frustrate Worcester, who are very dependent offensively.
Well, that's the thing, talking to coaches around the league as I do, you hear about Bristol when they first come into the league, is they play very well, play for each other, and they're very hard to break down, and that's the reason why their games have been low scoring. You guys managed to do that last week. You put a fairly big number up on them. What was the key to that success?
For us, coming off a loss against Glasgow, it was just unfortunate for Bristol that they had to play us after a loss. We were pretty, after that loss, we refocused and we really paid attention to little details, and we were able to exploit that against Bristol.
Well, remember, this Cup quarter-final, place in the semi-final draw up for grabs. Worcester, of course, won the trophy and the playoffs last season, but with the final just a few miles up the road, it would be a popular one for them to reach for sure. And it's Irving, Vasokis, Thurman, Holmes and Owumni, the starting 5 for Worcester. So they will be bringing Williams off the bench today.
Pretty big lineup, Dan. Bristol going to have to box out the 2 bigs inside there. Oh, it's going to be very tough if they're not able to rebound the basketball tonight for Bristol.
Certainly will be. Orcris, Street, Williams, Bland, and the last man off the bench is Herring. Here he comes to slap 5s with everybody, and we're about ready to get underway. It'll be Bland against Thurman. That goes up. Thurman just about wins the tip there. Bland, such a tremendous shot blocker, gets up so quickly, but he couldn't get up quick enough there. Good pass. Vasokis found the gap under the basket, and Alex Owumni, who's recently become the leading assist man in Worcester history, just adding another one to the tally.
Well, why not start as you mean to go on?
He broke the records for 3-pointers for the club as well. And he's done so in relatively quick fashion. In his 3rd year with the team, I thought he was going to show his 3-point prowess there, but he took it to the basket instead. Thurman tipped it, but it didn't go in. And a chance for Bristol to run the other way. Nice shot, handed back to Street, who knocks down the 3.
Good start. That's going to give Bristol a little bit of confidence now. They're going to have to play with this now.
Holmes driving in, and there's been a couple of occasions there where Bristol haven't really stopped the ball. They've got all the way to the basket.
Essentially, you have to stop that ball, especially with the fast guards attacking, and that's 2 baskets now in the paint for Worcester.
Street running across the top of the 3-point line. Double team steps out to him. Oh, great challenge by Thurman, but the foul is called. There's a good pass to find Bland, but Thurman rotated well, and is called for the foul.
Bristol trying to retaliate with a little interior offensive themselves, and it was a So it was good. He attacked the basket well, and that was a play above the rim there.
Bland looking to level the game at 4. That one off to the right. He's not the best free throw shooter you've ever seen. I think that's fair to say. Of course, when the first one misses, the chants from the crowd get louder. He goes 1 for 2. Here's Holmes. Wumi trying to get free off the screen. Run a little backdoor for Vizsakis, but it goes to Thurman instead. I don't think he was expecting it there, but he had the space. That shot is short, and then block from Bland, who leads the BBL in shot blocks this season at 2.4. He led the league a couple of years ago while he was with Cheshire as well. Wumi to the basket. They can't afford that sort of pace, Bristol.
No, and that's how Worcester get points on the board in a hurry.
Herring's shot doesn't go. Street going for the rebound, landed hard, but Worcester come up with the ball. And Awumi draws the contact, and the foul is called.
As soon as they get the rebound or the ball, Worcester are looking to attack straight away. You can see the tempo is a very fast-paced game as we start this 2 minutes into the game.
Sideline ball, which Irving will inbound. Vizsakis is going to have to help him out. He does. They've got to get it in here, and it's batted away. They're a bit fortunate there that Thurman got the ball back. Oh, but he turns it over at the second attempt, and Williams comes up with it. Herring onto Street. Thought about the 3, penetrates instead. Williams dumps off to Bland. Not loose, but he still kept control of the ball. And Wumi came, helped out, knocked it away, and eventually it is Khalil Irving who's called for the foul.
Not the cleanest of attacks, but Bristol are looking to attack, and you know, again, they've got the ball in the paint, and Alif Bland's on the free throw line again.
First one is clean. Second one's a little short, but had just enough on it to send it over the front of the ring. Awumi will bring the ball up as the pressure from Herring on Holmes to get him off the point. Thurman dumps it down to Irving under pressure, probably a little too much pressure for that shot. Street kicks it forward. Foul is called, the basket will count too. Cross finishes it off, he'll go to the line for the bonus.
Bristol done a great job there, transition. As soon as they got the rebound, they were out. You know, the much smaller player there, Street, grabbed the rebound, and he's already hit down the other end of the floor.
Did a good job in delaying the pass to give his teammate the best opportunity to get the finish, and of course he went through the contact, so little bonus free throw as well. Lead up to 3 now for Bristol. Again, the full court pressure, trying to get the ball out of the hands of Holmes. Awumi back to Holmes. Vizsakis sets the screen. Back inside to the big fella. Tried to lob it down to Thurman. Didn't have enough on it.
Alif Bland even blocks passes.
Yeah. Williams for 3, knocks it down, and the Flyers out to a 6-point lead here.
They've retaliated really well in these early stages of this game. Bristol, you know, they're a team that they want to be here. They want to play in this BBL league, and they're not just laying down. They've come to play tonight.
Shock is back to Awumi to reply with 3 of his own. That's a little bit long, and good job on the far side. Harrington clear his man out and grab the rebound, goes all the way down, and he's going to be fouled. I think Holmes is going to be called for it. It's his first. They've done a good job of getting to the free throw line here in the early stages.
They have.
Bristol.
They've really attacked the basket, not just settling for shots because they're there. They're trying to look for the best shots, and right now that's the shots in the paint.
There's only been 4 fouls called against the Wolves so far, but this is the 6th and 7th free throw of the game for Bristol. Herring pretty clean with the free throws. And again, he turns his attentions to home straight away. He lost it, but managed to recover. Thurman, oh, body slipping on this. A slippy patch, obviously, over on that far side, because 2 of them went down. Owumi, shot clock down to 5 as Owumi backs down. Tosses one in for 2, and Coach Kapoulis on the far side screaming for a double dribble. It did look a bit odd. It's almost as if Owumi went to pick it up, kind of dropped it.
Yeah, it was a different play, that one, but again, that left hand of Owumi's is very, very dangerous. You really want to keep him off that left hand.
Street, nice pass into Bland, and he did well to avoid the attentions of the 2 guards coming to help out. Owumi, big 3, banks one in. Not sure he called it, but they don't draw pictures on the stat sheet.
Yeah, sometimes when you're hot and things are going good, Dan, just throw it up there because it's going in. Owumi feeling pretty good right now.
McLaughlin Williams moves it on. Street thinks about the 3, takes it at the 2nd attempt, and he knocks that one down, and they're 3 or 4 now from behind the arc.
Yeah, they stood off Street there. They tested him. They said, look, you know, you want to shoot it, you can shoot it, and he's replied with a 3.
Inside to Thurman. Oh, that was a good pass. It was just a little low. He managed to recover with it, and there's Thurman to finish it off.
That's the problem. They have to find a body, have to put a body on Thurman. That's what he does. That's what he does the best. He's very good at finding open areas in the block, and offensive rebounding is where he earns a lot of his money.
Street again, 3 of 3 from behind the arc for him. And then the lead is up to 9. Holmes drives past, little soft one off the glass. Herring just blows past his man and lays it in for 2.
Wow, this is going to be a very high scoring first quarter if it keeps going at this pace.
Well, we were talking about the Flyers needing to do something defensively because they've only been averaging in the 60s so far this season. They've got 24 points in 6 minutes. Owumi. Sockets inside. There have been little gaps in that lane. They need to fill that somehow, Bristol.
Well, what Bristol are doing, they're over-pressurizing the passes, so they're putting a lot of emphasis on the guards and pressurizing, so the inside players are going to be open if they find themselves in space.
Irvin trying to keep that one in bounds, and unable to do it. We've got subs both ways, with Williams and Debo checking in for the home team, and Owen for Bristol. Here he is, his first touch. Back out to Harris. Nice pass from Doug Williams inside, and good finish by Bland under pressure.
Good penetration, good pass. Never 2 points for Alif Bland in the paint.
26 points on the board already. We've not played 7 minutes. 26-17, super high scoring first quarter. Holmes driving in. That'll be on the floor. The basket won't count. Wayon called for his first personal.
Good attack there from Chavis Holmes. He's a very controlled guard. You know, his moves are very, very smooth. He doesn't always use his speed to get by people. He's a very talented offensive player.
We've had 1 or 2 problems on the inbound. Usually gone to option 5, but they've got it in time. Oh, nice, split through the double team. That's just a heads-up play. You see that little gap and dart through it.
Smart play from Holmes there, squeezing between the really small gaps there, exploiting the defense.
He will go to the line to shoot 2.
Both teams gone a little smaller now with Alif Bland off the floor. It obviously makes Bristol smaller, but with Thurman off and Visakos off, it's a little man's game right now, Dan.
Here's Ranklin checking in for Bland. Holmes, it was almost like a little stutter on that release there, but it went in cleanly enough. Wolves with 18 points in 7 minutes, which ordinarily would be a good return, but they still find themselves 8 points behind. Might be more if this goes. Herring's shot doesn't. Debo at the second attempt pulls it in. Holmes cross court to Williams. Williams spots up for three. Got to find him in transition. He's really good at that.
Have to. Very, very good at finding space. That's a great look. Transition three. Worcester right back in it.
Herring. Franklin. He used to be at the University of Worcester. There's few of them on this Bristol team have been here before. Herring with a great head fake, got his man in the air, made sure he drew the contact, got the shot off. Good play.
Very smart. You know, there are 2 seconds left on the shot clock there. Bristol really run out of ideas, and it's a very smart move there, again, to get to that free throw line.
Khalil Irving will sit down for Deju into the game for the first time.
Herring's had a great start to his BBL career, averaging over 16 points a game, and you know he's kind of getting the image of being a leader on this team as well. He wants the responsibility, especially on the offensive end, and even on the defensive end. You can see he's picking up full court press. It's good. You know you want the leaders of your team to play on both ends of the floor, and you know, want that responsibility.
And the other thing is it shows the rest of the team that you're prepared. Look at him now. As soon as he's made the free throw, goes to find his man and put pressure on the ball. And it's interesting that they've got a Woomy bringing the ball up, and he's switched to take the ball handler because he was guarding Holmes earlier, trying to get the ball out of his hands. But maybe that's to do with Owen being on the court. As Holmes goes to the basket, didn't quite bobble for him, and Herring with the rebound. Away comes Owen. Gets it back from Williams. He's wide open from 17 feet, doesn't go. Debo with the rebound. Owumi trying to find a little space for himself. Pulls up just behind the arc, but overcooked it. And McLaughlin Williams with the rebound. Herring. I think they were going to call one play, but coach threw another one at him. Herring looking to go. Lost his man beautifully there, didn't he?
It's a tough matchup for Debo to stay in front of a guard as fast as Herring there, and Herring took full advantage of that mixed match.
Deju. Owumi. Now Debo at the other end. Little mid-range jumper doesn't go. Herring doing it all here. 8 points and 3 rebounds already, make that 10.
Way to attack, excellent. The big man was securing the post down low, and Herring drove right into his own man, up over and laid it in.
Holmes drives in, draws the foul. He'll go to the line for a couple. Bit of a sloppy one, really. It was one of those where he didn't really make that much impact on the play, so you might as well let him shoot and take the chances and get the rebound.
Yeah, a couple of missed shots there from Worcester, so Holmes has done really good there just to get in the paint and get the foul, get back on the line, and you know, hopefully for Wolves, easy too.
Well, it's not, because Holmes' first free throw rattles out. This, by the way, the highest scoring quarter by Bristol this season with 32 points. Their previous best was 30. And they got 43 seconds to add to that. Bland. Bland slices down the lane, looked for a second like he got some space. I think he fancies this matchup with Williams, but a lot of guys get, you see, that's exactly it. A lot of guys get confused when they see Williams. They think, oh, I can take him, and actually he's a pretty good defensive player. He's hard to, even giving up the height, he's hard to break down.
He's very deceptively good at defense. I played with him down in Plymouth, so you know, had a lot of practice sessions against him. He's a good defender.
Debo in the corner for three, knocks it down. Can Bristol get a quick one off here? Herring's having to throw it three-quarter court. Oh my goodness, it almost went in. I'm not sure if it would have counted or not, but it was pretty close. Excellent start here by the Bristol Flyers with 32 points, their biggest scoring quarter of the season.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I don't care who you are, Dan. That's you're on pace for 120 points. That's a fantastic first quarter offensively, and defensively too. They did really good. If it wasn't for that last three in the corner there, you know, they would have held Worcester, a very good offensive team, to 22. So they've done really well in the opening part.
They certainly have. We're at the end of one here at the University of Worcester. It's the Wolves 25, the Flyers 32. Welcome back to the University Arena here in Worcester, where the hometown Wolves are trailing Bristol by 7 here. 25 points to 32, 57 first quarter points. Very high scoring game so far. Be interesting to see if they can keep this, well, Flyers aren't going to keep a 120 point pace, but whether the two teams can get up into the 90s, you would have thought before the game, if it gets that sort of high, it would favor Worcester, but Bristol have had the better of it so far. Cross court from Bland. Off the glass, nice play for two. Lead up to 9, was briefly at double figures, only for a couple of seconds. Awumi was looking for a whistle that wasn't coming there. Williams trying to dance along the baseline, actually landed on it, and it will be a turnover. Here's Owen. They're trying to get Herring a little bit of space, but Awumi right in front of him. Awumi with the head fake, got his man up in the air again. But Runley fires up for 3, shot clock against him there. That's why he took that one from deep. Debo back to Holmes. Deju hands over to Awumi. Shot clock getting low now on the Wolves. 3-second violation call.
Good defense from Bristol, making things hard for Worcester. You know, they're not just letting them run their sets, they're pressurizing the ball, kind of getting them out of their comfort zone, and it's for right now, it's working.
Poor James up and asking for clarification. I think the referee said to him, I told him to get out, he didn't get out, so I called him for 3 seconds. Thought he was going to go back court for a second there. Owen, the way he was going backwards, foul called off the ball. The streak was trying to get free. If a Deju whistle for it. Owen in the corner, drives in. Bland with the offensive rebound.
Good rebound.
Cross court to Owen, good hands from Holmes to deflect it out of bounds. The shot clock is holding at 2. This is where somebody needs to recognize it though.
Yeah, I think coach just saw that.
Yeah, coach noticed it. Herring fires it up, got it off in time. It did hit the ring, so we can play live. Awumi kicks it forward to Debo. Debo, a little stop and go. Couldn't get anywhere though, and ended up just tossing it away. Herring, nice pass. Good head fake as well, and Stewart draws the foul. Jamal Williams wasn't convinced he committed.
That was a great look there, and again, Bristol find themselves on the free throw line. They've done really well, really getting to that foul line, just attacking the Wolves.
Well, 9 free throws in the game so far for Bristol, just 4 the other way. And again, it's all been about attacking the basket. They've not been penalty free throws. They've been shooting fouls.
Yep, and that's been from the guard through to the big man. They've really been trying to attack in all different areas, get in that paint, and get easy buckets. Simmons Stewart, another one who's not started the season very well from the free throw line. And right on his average there, 1 of 2. Holmes handed it back, fakes to go one way, drops it back to Williams. Again, they lost him. Again, he punished them. He's been fantastic off the bench. He's given them an offensive spark, and that's a guy, like you just said, you cannot lose. You cannot lose. He's very good at getting open. As soon as you turn your head, he's gone.
Good hands from Holmes to steal it away. He has Debo with him, gets it to him. Debo is blocked. Herring got a little piece of that, and he misses the dunk.
Fantastic defense effort there. Bristol not giving up on the play, and as a result, no score for Worcester.
Bland somehow ended up with a Awumi on his back, and they quickly recognized that and went inside to the big fella.
He's hard to stop down there, especially when he gets on that left hand. He's very left hand dominant, and you know, he's got a nice touch around the rim.
Devo in the corner for 3, overcooks it, and it's an easy rebound for Williams. Herring draws the contact. Be a sideline possession. Substitution for Worcester as Park gets his first taste of the action. Thurman coming in after something like a 10-minute break, I think.
Yeah, the big man was on the bench for a little while there, but he's got his rest and he's ready to go. Straight to Bland.
Street fakes at the 3, got to go out to it after he hit those ones early on in the game. The pass is deflected, and I think Bland's going to get called for a foul. Little tap on his chest, hand up in the air to admit to it. And he's called for his first.
He's done a good job of staying out of foul trouble this early as well. You know, especially with a shot blocker, you know, someone who's always active, challenging shots. That's his first foul. And he'd be a bit upset on a loose ball occasion, but nevertheless, he's done very well to start this game. You know, clean sheet with a foul bracket.
Well, Worcester trailing Bristol by 9 here with just over 6 to go in the first half. Great start offensively from Bristol. And they continue to push the pace. And Williams kicks it back. Herring on the far side for 3, a little long, and Park is there for the easy board. Awumi given space, head fakes, takes it in, and they had a success with that in the early stages, the little interior passing, and they need to try and find a way to get that going again, Worcester.
They did. Great penetration dribble there from Awumi, and that big man just waiting for the ball for the easy dunk shot.
Herring puts the ball on the floor, draws 4 defenders before kicking it out. Park boxing out well there because he had Bland on his back, and he managed to keep the big fella away from the ball and then pick it up. Williams puts the ball on the floor, and you see what happened was, because he hit those 3s early on, they had to go all the way out to him. He can put the ball on the floor too, get an old-fashioned 3.
He can. He's not the quickest player in the league by any means, but he's someone who uses his body very, very well, and he genuinely shoots the ball just as good with his left as he does with his right, so he can be a problem for defenses to match up with.
And it's one of those things, actually, if you beat the guy on the first step, it doesn't matter. He's behind you now, and he can only foul you. And Williams did well to get to the basket. He'll go to the line for the bonus after this timeout. 32-37 the score. We're midway through the second quarter. Bristol will have been pleased with how they've played through these first 15 minutes, but this timeout here just to try and take some of the momentum away from Worcester. They've closed the gap in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, Worcester are a talented team, so you know, it's a smart timeout, I think, by the coach there, just to settle things down, regroup. Their defense is not terribly bad. They're just maybe overplaying at the top there, and you know, the easy baskets inside. They just have to find a way to tighten up nearer to the rim, just instead of up top.
Two teams making their way out of the timeout here. Jamal Williams will go to the free throw line looking for a bonus. He's yet to miss in the game tonight. Eight points to his name. A couple of threes, a two, but doesn't make the one.
Commentator's jinx right there. He's
set him up perfectly.
He's had a great start to this basketball game.
Owen under pressure, gets it on to Street, and back again. Wants the screen from Bland. Bland ducks down the lane. They go inside to him. It was good play. He came across, faked the screen, sliced to the basket. Didn't get it first time. Opened himself up for the second pass.
That's good patience, Dan. It shows good discipline. A team coming straight out from a timeout, and they've ran what the coaches told them to run, and as a result, they have a two.
Thurman managed to get the shot off, but couldn't convert, and then it's stolen away.
Good defense from Bristol.
Williams. Owen gets it back. Again, same play. Thurman bought it again that time. Haven't seen it on the last time down. Oh, little gap opened up in front of Street. Thurman got there late, and he was in the no charge zone anyway. So he put his body on the line, but didn't get anything out of it. I think he's okay, just a little gingerly to his feet.
Yeah, sometimes you don't always get rewarded for taking a charge, and that's one of the things that sucks. You know, when you step in there to play help defense, sometimes it's just not quite quick enough.
And of course, with the change to the no charge zone over the summer, where you have to be outside the circle, whereas previously you could be on the circle, you have to get even further out. It's a subtle but noticeable difference. So Wilmy's three doesn't go. Good tip from Thurman back to Park. Park dumps it off, and again, when they penetrate, it's almost like if they penetrate down the middle, they've always got that little dump off.
It's always going to be dangerous getting the basketball in the heart of the defense, and Worcester are doing that pretty well.
Ooh. Street just a little too much spin on that one. Little stop and go from Holmes, driving in, off the glass for two.
Tough move. Holmes took advantage of that small matchup there. You know, Roy giving up a little bit of height there and strength to Holmes, and Holmes took full advantage of that.
Owen gets it handed back, somehow keeps hold of it when it looked like for a second he'd lost the possession. Street. Parker's traveled with it. Just sort of stumbled and turned the ball over. 3 minutes to play here in Worcester. The Wolves trailing the Flyers by 5.
Yeah, just a little over anxious there to get the basketball. Alif Bland had a mismatch down low with the point guard Holmes, so they're trying to get the ball in. Sometimes when you want to do something too fast, you make silly errors.
Thurman sets the screen. Holmes spins through the lane, finds himself some space and floats it in for two.
Nice controlled move by Travis Holmes. Again, getting inside the heart of that Bristol defense.
Down to 3 now, the gap. Street Herring, back shot. Shot clock goes down into single figures. Williams has a little glance at it. And then Herring goes right. Oh, what a block from Thurman, but the foul is called. Well, the ball was certainly clean as you like. But the referee says there was a foul on the body. The home fan's not too impressed.
I'm just going to say that's a controversial call.
You might have one of these refs next week. Well, those of us looking up top saw a block, but the referee, as I say, it doesn't matter if the ball's clean, if there is contact on the body, and that's what the referee has called.
Regardless of that, whether that's a foul or not, Bristol again at the free throw line. That's been no coincidence. You know, they've done a great job of getting there, and again, they're getting 3 points.
And Herring gets 2 points and lead back into 2-shot territory. Holmes throws the alley-oop to Thurman. I don't think Thurman was quite expecting it. He certainly picked up the pace when he saw the ball was in the air. Herring gets so far through his shot action in that fake, it's pretty hard not to bite on it. Bland out to Street. Steps underneath, moves it on. Herring for 3, knocks it down, and it was down to only 3 points just a couple of moments ago, but suddenly the lead back out to 8 forces Paul James into a timeout here.
Good basketball from Bristol too. You know, 2 or 3 players giving up shots for themselves to get a better shot for the team. It's good basketball movement. It's really good to see.
Wolves 38, Flyers 46. 2 minutes to play here at the University of Worcester in the first half. Paul James would be a little frustrated that having got hold of the momentum, kind of let it slip away. I mean, part of it's on that call that they weren't too happy with, but also an open 3. He had a good bit of space there to knock that shot down.
Yeah, couldn't put it any better. That's a momentum killer. You know, that block, it could have been a block shot, could have been a goaltend, could have been a foul. It went against Worcester there, and Bristol have actually reacted, you know, quickest to that call than Worcester. And you know, to be fair to Bristol, they've withstood the offensive waves of Worcester. You know, they're playing good defense, they're reacting, and they're scoring, and they're still leading the game.
Teams making their way back out onto court, and Paul James having a word with one referee about that block shot / block foul. Jamal Williams doing likewise with the other ref. You can see they're not happy about it, that's fair to say. Little up-court zone pressure here. More often than not, it's about throwing the other team out of sync, because what's happened is they've gone halfway through the shot clock and they haven't really made a proper pass in the offense. Williams for 3. Oh, I think he thought that was going in.
It's his first miss. It was a good miss too.
Herring. Little underarm shovel pass. Gets it back from Owen. Herring drives in, dumps out in the corner, and Street knocks it down. And having looked like it might be close at halftime, it could well be Bristol looking comfortable. They've got a double-figure lead with just over a minute to go. Owumi spins. Oh, he had to shoot that one from his hip.
Real tough shot, but Bristol again secured the rebound, and now they're out.
Oh, that pass wasn't a great one. It left Bland a lot to do, and Thurman knocked it away from him. Holmes has it. Good foul. Owen with the bump, but they looked in a bit of trouble there because he was behind the ball and he had options left and right. That's a smart enough foul, and they're not over the limit, so it's just a sideline ball.
Yeah, they get the comeback now set up, and yeah, that's a great foul.
Oh, they weren't quite ready there. Holmes got it, moved it on. Oh, well, we'll call that in the pass. Oh, he still can't convert. Oh, he's missed 3 in a row, Thurman. Well, you've got to like the offensive rebounds, but he needs to put one of the earlier ones in.
Wow, yeah. I don't think I've seen that too many times. 4 rebounds was that in one play? 3 or 4 rebounds? Bristol have to react. Just spike it like a volleyball.
Yeah,
Get it out of there.
Well, the shot clock and game clock are almost identical here as we tick down on the second period. Herring drives in, steps back, fires up for 3, hits it. What a beautiful shot that is, and what an excellent way for Bristol to end a very good first half for them. A step back 3 to give them an 11-point lead.
It's kind of like a boxing match right now, Dan. You know, Worcester give a punch and they just give him a bigger punch. What a raid to retaliate after a basket scored by Worcester.
Well, an excellent 20 minutes here in the BBL Cup quarter-final at the University of Worcester Arena. We're at the half. It's the Worcester Wolves 40, the Bristol Flyers 51. Welcome back to Worcester. We're about to get underway with the third quarter here in this BBL Cup quarter-final. 3 of the 4 quarterfinals taking place at the moment. Sheffield leading Cheshire by 5 at halftime. Newcastle leading Leeds by 3 at halftime, and it's an 11-point lead for Bristol here at the break in this game. The 4th quarterfinal will be in a couple of weeks' time, where Ant and his Leicester Riders teammates will be hosting Glasgow Rocks. We'll have that game for you, as Leicester try and three-peat in the BBL Cup. Well, can't get more wide open than that, but Walkers can't knock it down.
Nevertheless, it's a good shot to start the half for Bristol.
Oh, nice little backdoor cut, and again, good vision from Holmes to see it. Bounced it down the lane, put it where only Williams could get to it.
Worcester started with a slightly smaller lineup. You know, Vasakos and Thurman started the game, so they're going to go for a little bit of a different lineup to start the game.
Bland, good help from Debo on the rotation, knocked the ball loose. Holmes is thinking double and then drops back out to Street, goes round him, loses the handle though as he tried to get past Awumi. Williams again, out in the open court, draws the foul.
Williams doing a good job of using that body again, riding the defender the whole time until the whistle's blown.
Be an end-line ball, which Holmes lobs back out to Williams. Debo trying to find some gap, and that's not a guy you want to try and shoot over, because Bland leads the league in block shots for a reason, and we saw why there.
Yes, he does. Debo's done well to stay with the play there, and finally got his reward.
Street inside to Bland. Spins, kicks it back out. Glock and Williams with the pull-up. String music for him for 2.
Good finish there. Good defense from Jamal Williams there, not letting Bland get to that left hand, which you so very good, so very well does. Jamal's done well there. Keep him out the paint.
Awumi. First step, brilliant. Just went past his man. Finished it. Still had some work to do on the shot, but finished it well.
He did. Another left-handed player. He went right then and finished with his left over the defender. Awumi's been doing that for years in this league.
He's just having a little conversation with the referee as to whether he was fouled or not. Referee said he was happy to let him play. I don't think Alex was somehow, but it went in. That's the important thing. He at least got 2. Shot clock getting low here, and Herring, oh my goodness, what a shot that is.
Big shot there. Again, shot clock running down. Herring runs to get the ball. He wants that responsibility.
Irving trying to respond with 3 of his own. Did Williams keep that in bounds? No, says the referee. And Irving, of course, goes string music from 28 feet on the one that doesn't count. So having been so close on the previous effort. Herring, he only just broke the line in time there. He was slow bringing the ball forward. Street running the baseline, side to side. Bland, top of the key, doesn't quite have enough on that, and Williams with the rebound. Still 10-point lead for Bristol here, 3 minutes into the third quarter. Debo. Oh, threw it to where Holmes was going, and Holmes recovered well to get there, and Herring, a little too much attention there for Holmes. I think because the referee didn't blow the whistle on the first one, he'd have been as well to just step back a bit there. Did Paul James get a warning from the referee? I think he did. Debo hands over to Holmes. Holmes penetrates. Good things have happened when they've got to the basket. And Thurman keeps that alive. Williams back out to Debo, fires up for three, knocks it down.
Big hustle play there from Thurman. Got the ball out to Debo, and that's an open shot he can make.
Good little change of pace there from Herring, but Thurman stuck with it with the block. Dumped off over his Thurman on the trail out to Awumi, open for three. Not quite. Thurman trying to keep it alive. Ross eventually pulls it in.
Ooh, if that basket went down,
Yeah.
that's the energy that this place needed to ignite it.
Well, you can see it's already spot the crowd a bit, but Street taking some of the air out of that balloon with a three of his own.
Just like that, the momentum swings. Just like that. It could be one shot and boom, back up to 10 again.
They've done a really good job, Bristol, of every time Worcester have got some of that momentum to come up with a play that stops it quickly. There's Thurman again. Oh, he's done it at it again. He's going to have a lot of offensive rebounds. His shooting percentage won't be great.
No, but he's a beast on the boards right now, and Bristol struggling to contain him. A hard fall then from Herring.
Home fans not happy that the foul was called. Well, Thurman had 5 offensive rebounds. I think they were all on one play in the first half. I'm waiting for the stats man to confirm how many he's given him there. There's at least another 2 in there. Yeah, so he's up to 9. 7 offensive rebounds, but he's 4 of 9 shooting, and I think he's grabbed a rebound off each of his own missed shots. Street kicks it across. He's open again, and he knocks it down again, Aaron.
Good penetration from Street. Really, really jumped into the heart of that defense and kicked out, and Herring responds yet again.
Thurman has it stolen away. Herring off and running. He's had a great game. And he's looking to add to his points tally. It does bobble in for him. 23 points now. And he's shooting a tick over 50% from the floor as well.
Right. Not only has he got the numbers, he's got it efficiently.
Holmes' shot doesn't go. Here's Street out and running. Herring again from behind the arc. Not this time. And Debo with the rebound. Game got a little open there for a second.
Yes, it did. I think Bristol have to be a little bit careful of that. They have the lead, but...
Oh, man, what a block from Bland. And it's thrown into the backcourt. It'll be a violation when Debo touches it. Timeout called here in the game. 4:29 to go in the third, and Bristol have extended their lead here in this quarter. They lead 64 points to 51.
Alif Bland showing us why he's the leading shot blocker of the league. Fantastic play there. I wouldn't really beat his man, and for sure was going to lay that ball in until Alif Bland came over and saved the day.
Yeah, another block for Bland. But what does Paul James do here? How does he get his team to... It's the consistency of it. They've had spots and spells, but a few defensive breakdowns, given some easy shots that were knocked down, but they've got to somehow get some stops down here. 64 is still too big a number.
They have, and you know, time. The more time goes on, obviously, the less and less chance they've got of winning. They're going to have to pick up full court pressure, put more pressure on the Bristol guards, make them hurry them into their decision making. You know, try and you know, frustrate them and make them make their own errors. That's really, if I was Coach PJ, that's what I'd be trying to do right now.
They've shot the ball tremendously well, Bristol. shooting 56% from the floor, 9 of 18 from the three-point line, 50% from that range, and they've only missed a couple of free throws. They've had some good looks, but they've taken advantage of them.
They have, but what Worcester do have, they have the firepower to get back in this game in a very, very short amount of time. And, you know, if they can somehow stop Bristol from scoring so consistently, then they got a shout getting back in this ball game.
Herring. Dumped inside to Bland, back out to Williams, going along the baseline, just keeping in bounds, tried to get it to Street. Bland picks it up, still plenty of time in the shot clock. Oh, who's that to? Oh, a slightly fortunate one. I don't think Ogunleye was the intended receiver, but he picked it up and laid it in for two.
That was just like a cross in football. They just crossed it into the middle and someone got on the end of it. The Worcester defense has to react.
Debo thought about the three, decides against it, took it at the second attempt and knocks it down.
Oh, he took away the first one, and the second one was a little bit harder, and he nailed it.
That's an offensive foul. Thurman did well to jump out, get himself in the way, and you can't just run a guy over like that.
And that's, you know, that's an example there of the pressure that, you know, that Worcester put the pressure on a little bit there, and Bristol turned it over.
Well, Herring doesn't look convinced. He did ask the ref, what did I do? But Thurman jumped out in front of him, hit him with the shoulder, and knocked him down. Thurman to Williams. Debo comes up top, and that's going up again. You could tell as soon as he caught it, but doesn't drop for him. Offensive rebound, gets the maneuver 14. Holmes just, oh, he got it back, fires up, oh, and it'll go. Will that count? Just wait for the referee to signal. I think that basket will count. Yes, he does for two. He seems to almost be on his knees when the shot went up.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Rosakis into the game. Holmes to the line for one free throw that could get this back into single figures with 13 and some change to go here in the ball game.
Still plenty of time left in this basketball game, and you know it's a cup game. It's a win or go home sort of format. So you know both teams are going to have to keep playing to the very end.
Looking for some help. Bland comes and offers the screen. Double out onto that. Stewart with the jump shot. Rebound comes out to Awumi. Awumi to Holmes. Holmes changes pace well. Nice spin from Williams, but there's Bland again, making the shot difficult and blocking it the second time round. 2-on-1 here. Awumi, the only man back. He does enough to put them both off, in fact, and they end up with nothing.
Got to convert there, 2-on-1. Awumi's done very well there to stop the play.
Holmes got it back, but couldn't convert. And there's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul, I think, was the call off the ball. I was looking the other way. I think what had happened was, because Holmes ended up on the floor. Oh, he kicked at him, signaled the referee. Stewart, I think, was the nearest guy to him. He wasn't happy about what happened. I must admit, I was looking the other way, but looking at the referee's reaction, he must have kicked at him from the floor. So the referee called him for an unsportsmanlike foul. It will be 2 free throws in possession of the ball. And he did also point as if to say, if you do anything like that again, you'll be out of the game.
Yeah, well, that's the first warning there. He's not going to want to get himself in that situation again, or he's out the game, like you said. So, works in Bristol's favour. They get two free throws and possession.
Stewart is the man on the free throw line. His teammates obviously have great confidence in him at the free throw line, because they've all come over to the referee and go, no, 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 it should be 14 shooting. He had the ball. Unfortunately, it's not the player who has the ball. It's not the player who has the ball that shoots the free throws. It's the guy who gets fouled. And he was the guy who was fouled.
This might work out a little bit of a disadvantage for Bristol now. You know, the 2 free throws are missed, and you know, they were attacking the basket on that play.
Yeah, it's true. They could end up with nothing. They don't though. Oh, they might do. Stewart gets his own rebound, and he'll have another go from the free throw line. Well, it's not a guaranteed 2, I think is the polite way of saying it. But yeah, that's not a good sign when all your teammates run over to the ref to try and get somebody else to shoot the free throws for you. Although he does make the first one here. There you go. What are they all worried about? 2 or 2 from the line there.
2 for 2 that time. That's pretty consistent.
Debo. The shot is, oh, he was
Good
open.
catch.
It was a great catch though. It was an ambitious lob. He was open for a second, but good catch and finish. Street zips it across. Street gets it back again. Out to Owen, long 2, and he knocks it down.
Good shot from the young guard there.
Lead is back up to 11. Holmes is fouled by Owen, and it'll be 2 free throws for the Worcester guard. 3 of 5 so far today from this distance. 11 points in total for Holmes. Make that 12, and again, an opportunity to get it into single figures. But every time they seem to drag it back, Bristol have responded. Subs both ways. I think it's Williams. No, it's Awumi who's sitting down as Lufadeju checks in. And McLaughlin Williams coming in for Bristol. Street. Herring attacks off the glass, not quite, tipped by Vasakis. Awumi has it. There's 4 defenders near him. He's on his own. He's waiting for some help, and here it comes from Holmes for 3. Too long on that. Good offensive rebound, but he's turned it over Awumi. Owen again, numbers back on defense, so they wisely slow it down a bit. And Herring with that swipe through draws the contact from Lufadeju, and they're over the limit, so it'll be a couple of free throws here.
Smart move from Herring to attack there. Notice he's in a bonus, and every foul now is going to get to the free throw line, so it's a good play.
Franklin will check in. Bland sitting down. First one doesn't go.
Bristol might try and get a quick score here, go for a 2 for 1 before the end of the quarter.
Well, they trail by 10. There's basically 40 seconds to go. Well, they don't look like they're in a hurry for the 2 for 1. Holmes inside to Vasakis. They will get it, though. They'll get a bonus free throw as well. 27.8, so Bristol can run most of it down, but they'll take the 3 points and a stop as much as anything else.
Good catch and finish again from the big man. He's been a good spark off the bench for Vasakis in this third period.
And he knocks it down to 7. Franklin, hands over to Street. Shot clock midway through. Game clock a 3 seconds behind it. Herring down to 5 now on the shot clock. Ball away, kicks it out to Owen on the shot clock. Buzzer, string music for 3. They've got to be quick. Debo throws it the length of the court, and they've done it again at the end of a period. Great play, run the clock, hit the 3.
Wave after wave, they've just been so resilient in this game, Bristol, and that's why they're winning. You know, but Worcester are throwing a lot at them here, offensive power-wise, and Bristol have just carried on and stuck with the process, and they're up by 10.
Well, it looked for a second like the Wolves were going to have a smaller margin to deal with going into the fourth quarter, but none of it with a 3-pointer on the buzzer. Bristol still lead this cup quarterfinal by 10. We're at the end of 3 here at Worcester. It's the Wolves 64, the Flyers 74. Welcome back to Worcester, where the Wolves have 10 minutes to try and make up 10 points here. They trail Bristol by 74 points to 64. Bristol, of course, never been in a BBL Cup semi-final before. This is their first season in the BBL, and it would be some achievement if 6 weeks in, they'd already got themselves to a semi-final.
Recent years have showed the newbies to the BBL to struggle quite heftily. A couple of teams have went 0-33, and you know, Bristol not playing like one of those teams, you know, in the cup, and they want to stay in the cup.
Well, Herring threw it to Williams, and Williams just let it go like he thought somebody was behind him, and there wasn't.
Uncharacteristic error there from Bristol.
Deju giving the open 3 and making them pay for it. He needed that. Got to get off to a good start here, you feel, in the fourth quarter. Put some pressure on Bristol. Owen. Street running. He does most of the running in these plays, side to side. Here he is. The shot clock's low here. He's got to fire it up. He misses. Debo with the rebound. Gets it on to Awumi. Awumi to Debo. Deju from, well, closer range, overcooked it. Herring to Street. Inside, Ranklin tosses one high off the glass.
That was really high.
Holmes, beautiful little crossover to the basket. Couldn't finish it off though. Street threw it to Williams, who didn't see it coming, and Debo commits the foul. Well, Bland got a little break there at the either side of the quarter. It's always a good way to give a guy a rest. If you're going to play big minutes, which he tends to do up in the 30s, then those little breaks, 30 seconds, minute and a half either side of the quarter breaks. You get him a 5-minute break and you only lose him for 2.
Yeah, Leaf Bland now ready to finish the rest of the game, not in foul trouble, so they're going to look for him to be a really major contributor on both ends of the floor.
Deju again for 3. It was just the 1-2 point shot that was too close.
Wow. What a contrast to 2 big threes. huge. 4-point game.
Well, we said they needed something here at the start of the fourth quarter, Worcester, and they found it through Lufadeju with 2 threes that have cut it down to a 4-point game, caused Bristol to call a timeout with 8 minutes to go.
Such a shame, really. Bristol played so well in this ball game, and you know, the start of that fourth quarter, the turnover, it kind of never really picked up from there. The tempo was kind of flat from Bristol on both ends of the floor, so they're going to need to react here, or Worcester are going to get back in this game.
Well, what we've seen so far through the previous 32 minutes is Worcester have done this a few times, and each time Bristol have come up with something that's given them a spark, whether that be a 3-point play, a score, a stop, a score. However they've done it, they've found a way every time.
They have, so it'll be interesting to see what Bristol have now. You know, last 8 minutes of the game, it's crunch time now. Every play is going to mean a lot more to this ball game.
Wow. They're cranking up the noise here at the University of Worcester, trying to get behind their team. They've cut the lead back down to only 4. It's the closest it's been for a long time. Way back in the second quarter, they got it down to 3. But other than that, Bristol have had a fairly comfortable margin through this game. Worcester did have a lead early on, and there's a turnover from Bland. And a chance to cut it back to 1 shot for the first time in 20 minutes.
Good denial from Heron there. Wanted to get the ball into Wooney, but wouldn't make that possible.
Lufadeju draws the defense, and Vasakis lays it in off a good pass. It's down to a basket. You get the feeling Bristol need a score here. Got to find somewhere getting the ball in the basket, get the scoreboard ticking. Here's Herring. Street's open on the far side if he sees him. He does see him, just couldn't quite catch it at the first attempt. Drives in, tried to dump it down to Bland. It was deflected away. The referee on the baseline didn't see the deflection. The other 2 referees both said, no, no, no. That hit a Worcester hand and will be a Bristol ball. 1 or 2 boos, but that was definitely the right call. The thing Bristol have to be aware of here is a catch and shoot. They've got 1 second on the shot clock.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to get a good shot off here. You're going to have to execute the play with precision.
And they get it straight off the bench and fires up halfway down for Ogunleye. It's a bit, when you come straight off the bench, to be the guy that has to shoot at the end of the shot clock. But, well, Worcester can tie the game here. They can take the lead if this goes in. Not quite. And Williams with the rebound. Herring steps underneath. Ooh. And the foul is called on a Woomy. And he didn't like it. Referee says it was with the hip.
Good step through there from Heron, and you know, Bristol back on the free throw line now. It's probably a good opportunity to get some points here and settle the game down, because with this fast pace, Wolves are really running with the momentum.
Well, Herring is 7 of 8 for this distance. He's got 27 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a couple of steals. Make that 28 points. He's certainly been impressive here today.
And that's the first points Bristol have scored this quarter, so you know, Worcester have really turned it up on defense as well.
It's taken them 3.5 minutes, and they've seen 8 points go in at the other end during that time. But finally, the scoreboard ticking in their favor. Nice pass into Awumi. Good position by Alex Awumi, where the defender could do nothing but foul, and in the end he didn't foul, so it was an easy 2.
Awumi made that look effortless.
He did. 6 to play. Here's Owen driving through, tosses it up high. Bland, good rebound. Smart play as well, because his first thought was to tip it back in, realized that was tough, so he went down and went back up with it.
Good decision with it for the big man. Very good decision.
Rosakis to Holmes. Holmes to the spin. Off the glass, draws the foul, the basket will count. Owen is called for it, and Holmes will go to the line for a bonus that can cut it to 1.
Big shot from Travis Holmes, huge shot. And again, his moves are so calculated, it's under control, and again, him and Awumi coming at you. It's a tough combo to stop.
4th foul on Owen. He's going to sit down with Street coming back in, and it's one of those where actually the foul was committed after the shot, but while he's still in the air, just gave him a little hip bump to put him off balance, but the ball's already left his hand, so it made no difference to the shot. You didn't stop the score. All you've done is give him an opportunity for an extra point, which he takes. Well, they've not led since the opening exchanges. I think 5-4 was their last lead. But they're getting closer and closer. Just 1 point behind. Here's Herring. Referee calls a foul. Hand check. Foul is the call on Awumi. It's his second. Sideline ball. They still haven't quite looked comfortable in the half court here in this 4th quarter, have they, Bristol?
No, not at all. It's you can definitely see a change in momentum, a change in speed, and the fluency of their scoring is definitely disrupted by Wolves.
Williams for 3, doesn't go. Rosakis with the rebound. Worcester can take the lead here. They've had a couple of goes at it, but any sort of basket will put them in front here. Oh, and they turned it over. Herring trying to break through. Referee says play on. Street. Herring comes back. Herring driving in. Oh, what a finish that is. 31 points now.
Tough move, and way to stay with it too. He actually lost the ball in the same possession. Got it back and patient with the pick and roll and exploited the defense and finished with a real tough floater there.
Doug Herring having a tremendous game for his team with over a third of their offense. 4:30 to go here in this ball game. The Wolves trail the Flyers by 3. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned there that Herring, he sort of lost it. He has one of those, the way he plays, it's almost like he's always in control, but sometimes he doesn't look like that, but he always seems to manage to keep hold of the ball, and he's got great body control, so even from awkward looking angles he can break through the defense or get a shot off.
Yeah, I totally agree, Dan. I think the way he dribbles the basketball is why he dribbles the ball quite far ahead of his body, so it kind of makes you as a spectator look like it's out of control, but he's fully aware, and 31 points is a clear indication that I think he knows what he's doing.
While these two teams battling out for a place in the quarter-final draw, Newcastle will almost certainly be in that draw. They're leading comfortably at home against Leeds. It's very tight in the other game in Sheffield. Just a 2-point margin, and the final quarter-final is in a couple of weeks. We'll have that one for you. Leicester against Glasgow.
This feels like a cup game as well.
Yeah.
I like the intensity of this game.
And it's only going to get more so as we go down these last 4.5 minutes. Awumi, shot clock getting low. Oh, the defense ran away from him. They all backed down, and he gave him an open layup.
Tough finish from Awumi over the best shot blocker in the BBL.
Street. Herring, you just get the sense that if Worcester take the lead, they're going to win the game. They're going to hang on to it, but can they take the lead? Street, shot clock getting low. This has got to go up. It does go up. Great finish as well from Ogunleyi.
Excellent take from the youngster. Excellent.
Holmes to Awumi to tie the game. No, he's overcooked it. And that's batted out of bounds. Last touch by Lufadeju. So Bristol get the ball back again.
Still a lot of basketball left.
Yeah.
It's a long time. You know, it's any which way it can go now.
Well, Bristol have led for almost the entire game. But wouldn't it be just like Worcester just to snatch it at the death? Harry. Williams for three to double the lead. Yes, he does.
Good patience there. Heron, good pass as well. Even though Heron's got 31 points, he's not playing a style of basketball where he's taking every shot. You know, he's putting trust in his teammates as well, and they're doing this together.
Fourth assist of the game that was for him. Ball on the floor. Suddenly managed to get it up and get a shot off. Didn't go in, but he did draw the foul and will go to the line for two. Bland called for his second personal foul. Debo will come in for Williams. Just under 3 to go here. Awumi at the free throw line. These two have to go in, really. Oh. He's normally pretty reliable in these sorts of situations. Does make the second, still 5 between them. Street, who really got things going for Bristol in the first quarter with those 3-point shots. Nice spin from Bland, draws the foul and finishes it off. Just beat him for pace, really.
Good move from the big man. Alif Bland's done really well there. He's caught the ball, he's not rushed it. When it was time to make the move, he's made a quick move, fake, back into the middle, and one.
Well, we said it many times. Every time Worcester have seemingly got on top in this game and closed the gap, Bristol have found a way to respond. And what was a 1-point game could be 8 here. Isn't 8. It stays at 7. Awumi with the rebound. Holmes drives in. The socket with the follow tips it home.
It's a big tip there. It's a, you know, they've done well, Bristol, the initial defense, but the big man coming in for the tip there. It's a tough one, tough pill to swallow, that one, when you play good defense.
Well, Bristol will look to try and take some time out of the clock here as we go down the final 2 minutes. Skip pass. Williams will do well to keep that in bounds. He does keep it in bounds, but only at the cost of a turnover. Lufadeju, Awumi kept that away nicely. Awumi goes to the basket, draws a contact, doesn't get the call. It's out of bounds. Who did it touch? Referee says a Worcester player, so it will be a Bristol ball. Well, Street looks like he got caught there in the nose or in the eye, but he seems to be okay. He's going to keep going.
I think he got hit by a flying Vasakis there on the last play.
You'd know about that. Oh, nice drive to the basket. Doesn't quite go. Look for a second when that was up in the air as if it had enough arc on it there for Latia Ogunleyi, but he'll have to go to the line to earn his 2 points.
Ogunleyi's been a good little spark off the bench. He's fearless too. He's come in, he's not let this occasion get the better of him, and it's good to see a young British player such as him come off the bench and make things happen.
If that was half a centimetre higher, that would have gone straight through the net. As it was, it just caught the front end of the ring and then bobbled around all of it and didn't go in for him. Oh, and the second one's a bit too long. Well, this is not the time to miss 2 free throws. 90 seconds to go here. Worcester trailing by 5, have the ball. Debo clears out his man, fires up for 3, doesn't go, and Herring says, I'll have that. Glances up at the clock, ambles his way forward, signals horns, so the 2 big men come up with the high screen, and coach says, no, go back down. Let's flatten it out. Now they come. Wanted to take some time. Oh, it's almost turned over. It is turned over. Last touch by Herring. Well, 18 seconds went off the clock, which is a good thing, but they didn't get a shot off, which is not good. Get a stop, screams Coach Kapoulis on the far side.
And the coach is pretty much on the court playing defense with him.
He's been like that all game, Coach K. Debo fires up for three, doesn't go. Street didn't quite time it, and in the end, Lufadejo gets it. Here's Holmes, he's gonna move it on to Awumi, drives in, strong, that's a charge on Alex Awumi. Great stand from Street. He saw Awumi drive into the basket, got there to put his body on the line. Big play with 45 seconds to go.
I think Street's done a fantastic job there of getting across, and someone as athletic as Street as well, you know, they tend to obviously want to block the shot. Who doesn't want to block a shot? But Street was disciplined there in his approach and stood his ground. An offensive foul. Great play.
Timeout call, 45 seconds to play. Bristol leading Worcester by 5. Now the interesting thing here in this timeout is it advances the ball to get it in the front court, which normally you would say is a good thing, but actually when you're trying to take some time out of the clock, you don't mind the fact that it takes you 4, 5, 6 seconds to get it into the front court.
Yeah, it's a catch-22 this one, really. Yeah, you're right. It's just odd one. Obviously, it take you to 6, 7 seconds to get it over half court. You don't do that now. It's already advanced. But at the same time, you know, you're not turning the ball over, possibly turning the ball over in your own court. So it's catch-22 for me. And
Worcester go foul mode here. Trust the defense. 5 points, 45 seconds.
Leicester Riders trust your defense. Worcester Wolves, I'm not quite sure. They're down 5 as well. It's
that's the thing. My sense of it is, your best case scenario is you get the ball back with 24 seconds left, only down 5. If you trust the defense, you might want to lengthen the game. Of course, if you do that, come down here to 3, then everything's great. But that relies on a lot of things. I think they probably will. No, I think PJ will trust his defense here. But the other thing is that if they trap the ball in the way they did, you might get a turnover earlier than that. Well, it's into Herring. Oh, almost got a steal there. Awumi commits the foul. So it will be 2 free throws. I think that's one of those where it's Awumi's 4th, by the way. That's one of those where it's a good enough gamble if you're Alex Awumi. If I get the steal, I've got a layup. If I get the foul, we've stopped the clock and only lost a couple of seconds.
yes, it's an active foul, and you don't just want to foul just for fouling sake. Your intention is to get the ball, but you can be more aggressive with it.
Although there are better free throw shooters to foul from a Worcester perspective than Herring, who is 9 of 10 from this distance today. Oh my goodness, there is a curse. That was way off the mark. For a guy shooting 90% coming in to that shot, and shooting, well, he's a bit below 70 on the season average so far, but that was miles off the mark. Second one is clean. That means Worcester need 2 3-pointers, and this is now timeout called by Worcester. 42 seconds to go for Paul James. His team need, well, either 3 quick scores or 2 long-range efforts.
Yeah, the foul kind of played into Worcester's hands there. It was a good foul. Instead of giving up a 2 or a 3, they've just given up 1 and a chance for a 2-possession basketball game. So it's you know, it's still very much a ball game.
What do you think PJ will be drawing up here? Do you need a 3 on this play? Do you just need a quick score?
You know what? I think with the personnel they have, I think they have to go for the 3 because they do have the bigs, so they have the potential to get offensive rebound if the 3 doesn't go down. So, you know, either a really quick score or a well-designed 3 to get someone open. It's an either-or sort of thing, but they're going to need to score pretty quickly if they don't decide to go for the 3.
And then I suppose it depends on the outcome here as to whether you're in foul mode coming out. If they were to get a quick 3 and only take 5 or 6 seconds off the clock, then you play defense as honestly as you can and try and get a stop. And you should have some good time coming back the other way to try and level the game. But if you don't, they're going to have to maybe get into foul mode. Well, it's interesting to see the lineup coming out here. Awumi, Lufadeja, Holmes, Debo, and Park. That 5 says to me, we're going for 3.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a lot of interior motives going on
all
right
those
now.
guys are three-point shooters. The rebounders are on the bench. You better make it. Holmes to inbound. Park runs the baseline. Debo comes up. Oh, the pass is deflected. Oh, Awumi comes up with it. That was a bit fortunate. Love for Deju for three, way off the mark. Rebound Park, but he pushed it in the back to get the ball. And that is a foul. The home fans haven't realized it yet, but a little shove in the back from Park to be able to get the rebound. And that could well do it now for the Flyers. They get 2 free throws. If they make at least one, then suddenly Worcester need to find 3 scores in 36 seconds.
Yeah, Bland, I think around a 50% free throw shooter, so he's gonna, if he keeps with his consistency here, his stats here, and that's gonna be enough.
Always make the first one, because actually, if you miss the second, the ball's live, you could get an offensive rebound. They might not get it clean. Well, Bristol 36 seconds away from a first semi-final in their first season. The BBL, Bland, like a pro foul shooter there, knocks them both down. Quick 3 needed here. Well, Holmes is going for the 2, actually. Could have got a 3-point play there. I think they were all thinking he's going to pull up for 3, so he went to the basket. Well, they're not over the limit, of course. No. They've still got 1 more to give. They're running the same play for Debo to get open. Debo does get open. Debo fires up the 3. I think he thought a foul might be coming, and Herring stayed away from him, and that should just about do it now. They're going to foul him, but with 22.6 seconds to go and 8 points down, and one of the best free throw shooters in the game today going to the line, this one's pretty much in the books for Bristol. And you have to say, over the course of 40 minutes, they've deserved it.
Definitely, you know, to Worcester's credit as well, Worcester have played hard and they've came out and made shots, but Bristol, time after time, as we've already mentioned, they've been able to withstand the pressure, withstand the shot-making ability of Worcester, and, you know, they've led the whole game. Well,
Herring had been almost perfect from the free throw line until the last minute, where he's missed a couple. In some ways, it doesn't even really matter that doesn't go in, because 8 points and a running clock. Oh, and it's almost stolen away. It is stolen away, and that'll do it. They won't even bother foul. Holmes might foul. They won't foul now that it's gone back to Bland, and the Bristol Flyers are going through. Coach K on the sideline, high-fiving the whole team, and a tremendous performance. They came out right at the beginning, hit those 3s from Street, and that just got them going. They got that lead, and every time Worcester came, and Worcester came 3, 4, 5, 6 times in this game, cut it back down, but Bristol responded every time.
I've been very impressed with Bristol today, very impressed. They, not just of the score today, but the unity and the ability to stay together. You know, they displayed great teamwork today, and, you know, resilience. You know, when things weren't going so well, they didn't break apart, they stayed together, and, you know, wow, they're in the semi-finals of a cup.
A lot of great performances, but a quick word for Doug Herring. 32 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, excellent play.
He was the leader tonight. He was the leader on both ends of the floor as well. He was fantastic on defense. He was one of those guys who had a hand on every single ball, and, you know, great credit to him and his team tonight.
Well, disappointment here for Worcester. We'll have more action for you. We're back to the league next week, and we'll be joining Ant Rowe and his Leicester Riders as we go to Loughborough University for next week's game. It is the Leicester Riders against Leeds Force, another of the new BBL teams this season. Join us for that one. Promises to be a great game, but it's the Bristol Flyers who are celebrating here in Worcester today. They've beaten the Worcester Wolves 82 points to 90 and are through to the BBL Cup semi-final. For Anthony Rowe, I'm Daniel Routledge. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.